Welcome to a warm and sunny Rockingham for rounds 9, 10 and 11 of the Speed Group F1000 Championship. Watton leads the championship charge. It's over to our commentary team to take you through the first grid.
Yes, thank you very much, Lloyd. Here is how they line up then, with the returning Robert Sayell on the pole position, alongside championship leader Michael Watton. Row 2 for Paul Butcher and Dan Clues. Row 3 for Alok Iyengar and Dax Ward, with Rob Bailey and Mark Fortune on the 4th row. Rounding out the top 10 are Rob Wellham and Peter Legge, ahead of Alwyn Rhodes-Mays, Andrew Wheels, and a troubled Adam Walker, who had issues in qualifying. He's definitely one to watch from the back. So, 15 minutes of racing about to begin for the Speed Group F1000 Championship. The red lights go out now. We're away in racing. Great start made by the green car of Dan Clues, look, who tries to launch up the middle of the two cars in front. Can he make it 3 wide down the bottom? Don't think he quite can. Paul Butcher will chop down in front of him, and that really looked like a great start for Dan Clues, but in the end he will settle back in line in 4th place on board with Andrew Wheels, who's a bit further back. It's possibly a bit safer back there though, because look at this at the front of the field. It's Sayell that leads the way. It's Butcher's second, but up the inside was Michael Watton trying to hold on to that position from where he started. There is Andrew Wheels towards the tail end of the field, but the leaders go through with Butcher second, look, Watton third. So Michael Watton, who will tell you himself that he's not the best starter in the championship. We've made mention of that before. Once the race gets going, there are few quicker than him. The trouble is that he often leaves himself with some work to do. As a result of maybe a slightly tardy start. And again, he started second, drops a position off the line behind Paul Butcher, but he's fighting back now up the inside as they come out of Kirby, up towards Gracelands. He's got the inside line. Paul Butcher's got his nose in front though, late on the brakes for Watton, but not as late on the brakes as Paul Butcher was, who gets back in front and hangs on to that second place. This is all allowing Robert Sayell to just inch further ahead at the head of the field. Butcher's second, Watton third, Clues fourth, Iyengar is fifth, and I think that was Dax Ward running in 6th position as they make their way down the school straight back towards the Brook chicane once again. Up the inside is looking Dan Clues. Now remember, these two are fighting for the championship lead. Michael Watton arrives here at Rockingham just 7 points clear of Dan in the championship, because Michael, although he won both races last time out at Cadwell Park, the previous meeting at Snetterton was a little bit of a nightmare for him, so he really could do with beating Dan Clues in this one to extend his championship margin. He's beaten Legge, who's got the car fixed after its fairly hefty shunt at Cadwell Park last time out. The oldest driver on the grid, first getting his hands dirty there in the repair job. He's worked hard and worked well to get the car back out there after that shunt last time out. Back through the Dean hairpin go the leading group there. They're just spacing out slightly. Iyengar and Dax Ward 5th and 6th are reasonably close together. But Dan Clues there with it all to do in the championship, just 7 points behind Michael Watton, but that's actually probably closer than Michael would have expected them to be at this stage of the year. Those mechanical dramas at Snetterton, really the only thing that have kept Michael off the top step of the podium this season. He won the first 4 races in a row, then had those couple of issues at Snetterton, then won the last 2 races at Cadwell Park as well. So the only races that Michael Watton has not won so far this year have been ones where he's had mechanical issues. So he'll be keen to try and avoid those now throughout the rest of the season. Keep on logging the points and keep on beating Dan Clues. Down through the Tarzan hairpin, he's just starting to pull back away now, is Michael, as he inches onto the gearbox of Paul Butcher, already coming through towards the completion of lap number 2. They are some of the fastest cars that you'll see racing anywhere in the UK, these F1000 cars. The Speed Group F1000 Championship going from strength to strength with a 13-car grid here this weekend, which I think I'm right in saying is about equal, or possibly even is, the highest grid that we've had all season long, which is great stuff. With Adam Walker, the train driver, makes his way out of the banking and back onto the main straight once more, working his way through after these issues that he's had in qualifying. He was right on the pace this year, because Adam Walker, he got himself a podium last time out. So he missed out on the podium last time out, but he had those couple of podiums back at the start of the season at Brands Hatch, 2 second places, arguably. Certainly one of those could have been a race victory. Here are 2 drivers looking for race victories. Michael Watton looking for his 7th of the year. Paul Butcher, though, the purple and green number 42, purple and yellow 42 car, excuse me, is looking for its first win of the season. He's the nearly man of F1000 racing, is Paul Butcher. He's been runner-up in this championship more times probably than he'd care to remember, and he's been runner-up in racing so far this year more times than he'd like as well. 4 second-place finishes for Paul Butcher coming into this weekend's racing, but yet to get onto the top step. Can he do it here today? Well, he's just losing a bit of time, it would seem, to Robert Sayell at this stage as they work their way back down the school straight. But if he and Michael Watton work together and don't start falling over each other too much, there is the possibility that maybe he could they could both close in on the race leader. Back out onto the pit straight they go, through turn number 4 of the oval here at Rockingham, and then down into turn 1, which is easy flat out of these cars. And Robert Sayell, who we last saw racing with the championship back at Snetterton, has only done that one round so far this year. But it's good to have Rob back. Not doing full season this season, but he's doing the races that he can. It's always a pleasure to have him here because he's another quick driver, and another driver who can get up there and compete for the race victories. I've always said that what it lacked maybe in quantity as far as grid course is concerned, this championship all makes up for with quality. There are so many drivers out there, especially this year, that are capable of winning races and finishing on the podium. Gone are the days of Michael Watton dominance that we had last season, to a certain extent, the year before as well. He is the reigning champion, but this year he's really not having it all his own way, is Michael. Good battle going on further back. This is Peter Legge, and going around the outside of him is Alwyn Rhodes Mays, and that was all a little bit tight through Yentwood. They're still side by side into Chapman, but the white car on the inside, Peter Legge, will just about hold on to it for now. Down towards Piff-Paff goes the 76-year-old, but he is still just as feisty as ever, clearly. Oh, but then so is Rhodes Mays, who dives on the inside down at Kirby. That's not really a place that you tend to see a lot of overtaking, but through will go Alwyn. And this is a second meeting, having raced with us at Cadwell Park last time out as well. Now Peter Legge closing back in again to go down towards Tarzan. Speaking of closing in, the lead gap is coming down. It came down again that time around. Paul Butcher and Michael Watton perhaps are doing what I suggested they should, just working together, leaving each other alone for the time being. It looks like they're fairly equally matched, those two, and they are closing in on the race leader, who's just a bit wide on the brakes down in towards the Dean hairpin. So too was third place man Watton. So Butcher is just about able to hold on to second and inch back towards the race leader. Is Dan Clues, second in the championship on 185 points going into this weekend. He's 25 clear of Adam Walker, so really it is down to Clues and Watton to fight for the championship, I imagine. As we move into the second half of the season, this being the weekend that marks the midway point of this 7-round season. We've still got races though at Castle Combe, Croft and the Donington Park National Circuit at the end of the year to go. And you do sense that this is one of those championships that may just go down to the wire at Donington Park in October. But if that is going to happen, and it's going to be a really close finish to the season, then Dan Clues needs to start winning races again. Dan has only won once this year, but he's been remarkably consistent. He's had 5 third places and 2 second place finishes, only off the podium 3 times, and on both those occasions he was 4th, so no non-finishes for Dan. Just needs those race wins, really, doesn't he? Because to win the championship and to beat Michael Watton, you have to be winning races. Having just said the lead gap was going down, by the way, it's gone back out again this time. You can see that Paul Butcher is starting to feel the pressure from behind. Michael Watton is in the slipstream down towards Dean. Now, I'm not sure he's quite close enough to throw it up the inside on this occasion. He's not a million miles back. In fact, he forces Paul Butcher to defend. We caught a glimpse of that in the background. On the exit of the corner, they're almost side by side. Paul Butcher on the inside line, defending in towards Yentwood. But hang on to the place. It's now quite difficult to overtake through this next sequence of corners in any car, let alone a slicks and wings single-seater, such as these, the downforce effect, the dirty air that is being picked up from the car in front. These don't really generate the downforce you'd like going through twisty stuff, so really I think Michael's going to have to wait till the end of the lap to have another go. Here is Rob Wellham, car number 5, working his way through the infield section. Making his debut is the 16-year-old, yes, you heard that right, 16 years old. He's 60 years younger than the most experienced driver on the grid, Peter Legge. And he has some experience of karting, but this, I believe, is his first ever car race. And what a series to debut in. These are probably about as close as you can get to go-karts in single-seater terms. A bit more downforce, a bit more grip, a lot more speed, of course, but the F1000 Championship welcoming drivers young and old. And it's nice to have Rob with him, so he's going to go out for the rest of the season. There's Dan Clues turning his way back through the first corner, and he's just slipping backwards now slightly from the leading contenders. It's hard to imagine this, but Dan's best finish in the championship has been 4th. He's been 4th in this championship on 4 occasions. He's running 4th in this race as well, so all the 4s coming together for not great Dan Clues, but he is definitely a championship contender most seasons. Just often it's been unreliability and a little bit of inconsistency that's hurt him. Well, he's cured the inconsistency this year, at least so far, but he's just struggling to get onto the top step of the podium. That win rate needs to go up slightly, and at the very least needs to be beating Michael Watton, but ideally taking as many points out of him as possible. You can see Michael not a million miles up the road, but when they're all running so evenly matched, it's difficult to gain that sort of gap. There's a good couple of seconds that he's got to close, and they're all lapping within a few hundredths of each other, really, these top 4 cars. Definitely class the field so far in this race. Michael Moore with Dan, heading towards the Brook chicane. Got to avoid those big orange sausage curbs. They can run the cars over the blue and white apex curbs. And there you can see again, now that Paul Butcher's broken free from Michael Watton, he is a bit quicker than the race leader. The lap times are starting to ebb and flow a little bit. Came down by the biggest margin that it has to all race on that previous lap. So Paul Butcher still fancies his chances here of maybe grabbing that first win of the season. Scored a race victory yet, but that shows the benefit that being consistent can have. The Paul Butcher hasn't been terribly consistent. Those in between on finishes, he's really putting him a lot further back in the points than he'd have liked. Drop scores when they start to get applied will help him out a little bit. That will also help him out a little bit. McEwan running very wide down at Kirby, just about picked up the second apex, but that was far from the ideal line. But second place man hunting down the race leader Robert Sayell, who is a former champion, of course, 2016 outright champion, as well as a club class champion back almost a decade ago now. He first made his first appearance in the F1000 Championship, champion 2 years ago, and looking not for the title this year, but to try and add to his wins tally. Racing over in South Africa as well in the past, running his own car and own setup, as many of the drivers do. To be fair, is Robert Sayell. Most of the drivers run the car themselves. No big budget teams really in F1000 racing, which is what makes it such a friendly paddock to be a part of. That time around stayed fairly stable between the two. You can really see that quite aggressive clout that you receive as you drop down off the banking. The car bottoms out going through the Dean hairpin. It really puts the car through the ringer, but as the driver as well, you know you've done a workout around here. It's a very busy lap too at Rockingham, on the longest of the configurations that they use here, the International Super Sports Car long course, which is where it just deviates down this hill in towards Kirby. It only really adds an extra couple of corners onto the layout, but it's a technical section. Lots of corners coming at you in quick succession, especially in these cars, because you get from corner to corner very quickly. These cars, some of the quickest single-seaters you'll see racing anywhere, 185 brake horsepower. They weigh only just over 300 kilos without the driver. That equates to about 552 brake horsepower per tonne, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, top speed of in excess of 150 miles an hour. They are proper racing cars, and this Rockingham circuit is an opportunity for the drivers to really test out all of that. The infield section means they can make the most of the lightweight, agile nature of these cars, but then you get out to this part of the circuit and you can really open the taps. They will be getting towards top speed by the time they get out of turn 1 and down towards the Dean hairpin, which is what makes Dean such a difficult corner, because you're going so quickly and there really aren't that many reference points for braking or not. Past a stricken car there down on the inside of turn 1 now. I'm hearing that is Alok Iyengar, who has pulled off with a mechanical issue. We also have lost Mark Fortune earlier on in the race, although he pitted, I believe, at the end of the opening lap to retire. Lead gap came down fractionally that time, but only fractionally, between Butcher and Sayell. And they're now starting to run out of time, because we may even be on to the last lap, depending. We've got one more lap after this one, probably. I think the time quite run out when Robert Sayell came through to break the timing beam that time around. The top of the hill at Gracelands they go, and it's been a fairly quiet race as far as overtaking has been concerned at the front of the field, but because they've all been running in such close succession, none of the drivers will say that it was boring, that's for sure, because they'll have given a real workout, having to push flat out, because Robert Sayell knows that with Paul Butcher less than a second behind him, one mistake or one lapse of concentration, and all of a sudden the number 42 car will be straight up the inside and through. And in fact, the gap is possibly going to be smaller than ever it has been as we go on to what I think should be the final lap this time. So out of the final corner they come. Let's see if we can see a last lap board. Out across the start-finish line they go, and yes, it is the final lap. The board was being held out, so the top three go through. You can see there Michael Watton and Dan Clues have rather slipped back because the race has gone on, unfortunately. It would be nice to see a real four-way scrap in front of the field. Oh, Sayell, oh, that's not the kind of mistake you want to be making on the final lap of the race. Really outbraked himself then down at the Dean hairpin, but that goes back to what I said a lap ago. You arrive there at such speed, and because it's such a wide part of the circuit, out on the banking, of course, there are no real reference points. Most circuits, there's a tree, or there's a board, or there's a marshal's post that you can use as a braking reference, but down there is absolutely nothing, and so it's very easy indeed to go in a bit deep on the brakes, and he was very lucky not to go on the grass. One wheel on the grass then, and Paul Butcher would have won the race. So Paul, well, he's sensing blood in the water, isn't he, though, Butcher? He's still pushing on. He's seen that Rob's made a couple of little errors. Possibly that just comes from being a bit race rusty as well, because he hasn't competed in the full season, wasn't with us last time out at Cadwell Park. So it sometimes just takes a little bit of time for a driver to get back into race rhythm, even a former champion. Butcher is really starting to breathe down his neck now. Up the school straight they go, over another rise, a deceptively undulating circuit. It's Rockingham actually on the infield. Down through the Brook chicane though, and I don't think the Butcher's quite going to get close enough, but he really gave Robert Sayell a run for his money in that one. Out of the final corner, and Robert Sayell is going to take his second victory of the season. He won at Snetterton on his last appearance, and in the very next race that he competes in, he takes the checkered flag again. Paul Butcher second, Michael Watton third, Dan Clues comes home in fourth position, and then everyone else following in some distance behind. It is, though, Robert Sayell with a victory by less than a second over Paul Butcher in second place. Watton and Clues round out the top four, then a big gap back to Dax Ward in fifth. Rob Wellham sixth on his debut. A great result for the youngster, ahead of Adam Walker, Rob Bailey, Peter Legge and Alwyn Rhodes-Mays rounds out the top 10. Andrew Wheels, the only other finisher, Alok Iyengar and Mark Fortune, both failed to reach the end.
Rob, congratulations on your win. That was pretty impressive from the start. You're a bit of a specialist here.
Well, I do like this place, I must admit, yeah. Obviously starting on pole does help, and I knew the key was obviously get off the line. If I got off the line, got into the top hairpin in the lead, I could then control the race. I tried to creep away. The first lap I did get a good opening lap, but then a few little mistakes and Paul then came back at me, so I just had to keep an eye on Paul. I didn't have to defend, he wasn't close enough for that, but I just had to be aware of him, so yes, he pushed me all the race. Reverse grid tomorrow, what can you do? Wow, starting P8. We'll see how we get on. Again, a lot of it's the start. If you make a good start, you can pass a few. You just pray that your rivals don't get through, quicker than you do. So yeah, we'll see. But it's definitely going to be interesting.
Well, congratulations. Cheers.
Thank you.
Paul, that was a tough race, but congratulations on your second place there in race one.
Thank you very much. It was pretty much all about the start, and managed to get past Mike off the start. Didn't quite manage to get past Rob, and then I was staring at Rob's rear wing for pretty much the whole time.
Rob's a bit of a specialist around here, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're aware, but we have two different engines in this series, the Suzuki and the Yamaha, and Rob has a Yamaha, which works well on circuits with long straights. Obviously, it suits Rockingham very well. Maybe wouldn't go so well at a twisty circuit like Cadwell.
What do you think you can do for tomorrow's race?
Well, I'm going to hope to go one better.
Oh, we look forward to seeing that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Michael, tough race out there. It's quite warm here at Rockingham as well this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the race today, we just haven't really had the pace like we've had at other weekends. We had a tough Friday with an off and a lot of damage, and between the top three of us in that race, it was really close, and I thought maybe I could be in the mix, but at the end we overheated a little bit, had to drop back, but third's good points. We beat second in the championship, so yeah, we'll try and improve for tomorrow on the reverse grid. We'll start a bit further up, so we'll give it a good go from there.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing. Reverse grid, going to make it maybe a little bit easier for you to climb through the traffic.
Well, it's the first time in a while I'm not starting the reverse grid on 8th, so that's nice to be a little bit further up, and there's plenty of places to overtake, especially off the start here, so whoever gets to the front in the first 2 laps could decide a lot in that race.
Look forward to seeing that. Cheers, Mike.
Cheers, thank you.